My name is Simon Rawson. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive and Director of Corporate Engagement at ShareAction. So ShareAction is a UK-based charity, but we operate in Brussels and in London and actually engage with investors and companies across the world. Our mission is to transform the investment system so that it takes responsibility for its impact on people and planet. And we do that in three main ways. The first is that we benchmark actors in the financial system. So we have a benchmark for asset managers, for banks and insurers. And through that, we're able to identify leading practices and share leading practices and engage to try to drive up good practice in these organizations. The second thing we do is support collaborative initiatives. So we also work collaboratively with asset managers and asset owners on thematic issues. So typically they're sort of engagement campaigns, but we do other things too. And then the third area is public policy. So we advocate for public policy, again, primarily here in London and in Brussels, that supports sustainable finance. Well, for me, engagement is the process through which investors engage or interact with the companies that they hold or other issuers, and obviously comprises a range of different tactics, from the most familiar private dialogue, whether through meetings or letters. But good engagement, I think, also involves using other tactics, which might involve collaborating with other investors to strengthen voice, which might involve elements of public engagement to really build broader stakeholder engagement on issues and when companies are resistant to change, and could even be up to and including more forceful engagement tactics, which might include things like shareholder resolutions or even legal action in extreme cases. But engagement, of course, should cover the whole range of environmental, social and governance issues that address the risks investors face in holding these companies, but also the impacts these companies have on our planet and its people. So at ShareAction, we're not set up as an engagement service. We don't aspire to cover the whole market with engagement. We ourselves choose particular topics or sectors to engage where we see a white space, where this isn't sufficiently being addressed by other investor actors at the moment. So, for example, within climate change, looking across all of the engagement initiatives that were underway, we identified that the chemical sector was particularly under scrutinized by investors, but represented significant risk and has a significant impact on our climate and environment. So we scoped out an engagement initiative, and over a couple of years have built up a collaborative group of investors who are working together to engage with Europe's largest chemicals issuers. So for us, it's about identifying spaces where engagement is currently lacking, where we can demonstrate proof of concept, where we can create change. I think, though, the debate needs to be about quality, not quantity of engagement. I think it's impossible for every manager to cover every issuer that they hold, and so identifying the greatest risks, ESG risks in your portfolio, and also the greatest opportunities for impact, ensuring that you've got broad coverage across the different risks and impacts, so the various environmental and social issues, as well as the more traditional governance issues, but within environmental covering both climate and nature, within social covering both things like human rights, decent work, but also considering things like population health. So expanding across issues, ensuring coverage of the most significant risks and impacts, and then acting judiciously and in collaboration with others where possible to maximize impact. But what I would say in terms of pitfalls is be careful when acting in collaboration with other investors. beware of free riders in collaborative engagement initiatives, and don't be a free rider. Be sure that if you're participating in an initiative like that you're adding value and that you can point to the additional value that you've created in that initiative. I think the next horizon for engagement is going beyond engaging directly with companies and investors also engaging with the policy-making process and using their influence, significant influence and insights about the risks and opportunities within sectors to help shape public policy and regulation around issues like climate, biodiversity, and health and decent work as well.